Hey, I'm Wispy. Welcome to another character design session. And I happen to be a fan of Pokemon. In fact, when I was younger, my first idea for a YouTube channel was Pokemon related. In my recent tour of my old sketchbooks, I found a bunch of sketches of my favorite Pokemon, as well as trainer designs for myself. Back then, when I was about 14, I wasn't skilled enough at drawing to create a design that accurately represented myself or the Pokemon universe. So today, I wanted to do just that. For this trainer design, I decided to stick closely to my self-sona design, with a few tweaks. First, I decided to try and emulate the Pokemon style as closely as possible, so that the trainer design wouldn't look too out of place next to the Pokemon. I consider my style to be a mix of Western style and an anime style, so going fully one way was an interesting challenge. This included very different eyes and more exaggerated hair shapes, most obviously seen in the two big loose hair pieces out the front. When I shade usually, I use cell shading in a bright purple colour, set to linear burn so the shading is influenced by the colours underneath. I usually like to blend some parts so that the shading isn't too distracting. For this piece, I used blue cell shading without blending and a very dark shadow under the neck. Another change I made was to the jacket. I wanted to include more vibrant colours into the design, as the Pokemon universe is so bright and colourful, so I made the sleeves and collar pink. I also included a Pokeball symbol, which is a common design on Pokemon trainer clothes. Now for the Pokemon team I've picked. I've always loved Absol and Mawile. What can I say, I've always been a bit edgy. Another Pokemon I chose for my team is Helioptile. I started to collect Pokemon cards around the release of X and Y, and I had a holographic Heliolisk card. It was something I really treasured, but I like Helioptile a little more than Heliolisk, purely because of the cuteness. I also really like lizards. For a while, my favourite animal was the Komodo dragon. Speaking of favourite animals, the next Pokemon I chose had to be a bird. There are a lot of great ones to pick from, but I had to pick the adorable Altaria. The cloud body is such a fantastic design. For the next Pokemon, I always loved the evolutions. My favourites are the ones introduced in Gen 2, Espeon and Umbreon. I decided to pick Espeon as my team is already full of black and yellow Pokemon, so having a purple one in there adds some nice contrast. And for the last Pokemon, I had to pick a dragon one, or at least dragon-like, so the final choice had to be Milotic. I feel like this team represents both my current and previous tastes in Pokemon pretty well. And that's the final design. I hope you enjoyed this little exploration into something I really enjoy, and thank you so much for sticking till the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. And until I post next, stay safe and I'll see you then. Bye!